ever stop and really think about semen? I mean, beyond the obvious reproductive side of things.
Right. Like, could it hold secrets?
Yeah,
Maybe related to vitality or, health, even mental focus.
exactly. That's what we're really digging into today. We're calling this the power of semen.
And we're looking at, well, everything, aren't we? Science, ancient wisdom, um, modern experiences.
Yeah, the whole spectrum. We've got the scientific findings, but also these long-held beliefs.
Our mission, if you like, is to sort of understand its potential, whether you're aiming to optimize your health or you're just curious.
Okay, so let's start with the basics, but maybe go a bit deeper. What is this stuff, biologically speaking, beyond just sperm?
Yeah, it's way more complex than just sperm floating around. Think of it as a biological delivery system packed with nutrients.
Nutrients like,
Well, for starters, there's a decent amount of zinc, really important for your immune system.
okay, zinc, what else?
Then you've got magnesium. That plays a big role in muscle function, nerve function, too.
Right, and I read about fructose. Isn't that sugar?
It is, yeah.
Mhm.
But it's there primarily as an energy source for the sperm themselves.
Yeah,
Gives them fuel for their journey.
makes sense. What about prostaglandins? That sounds more technical.
They're interesting. They're lipid compounds that actually help regulate inflammation in the body.
Wow, okay, and I think I saw something about mood chemicals.
Yes. Precursors to neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, the stuff that helps regulate how we feel.
So hang on, if semen has all this zinc, magnesium, mood stuff, could, like, frequent ejaculation actually deplete these things in a noticeable way? Does that lead into this whole idea of semen retention?
That's exactly the question many people ask. And it brings us right to semen retention. Is there something real there, or is it just belief?
It's a hot topic, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not new. This debate, these practices, they go back centuries.
You really do see it pop up everywhere, don't you? Like ancient Taoist texts, you hear whispers there.
Right, in Tantra, too.
And then fast forward, it's all over modern wellness forums online.
And the claims are, well, they're pretty bold sometimes. More energy, laser focus.
Yeah, even impacting success in life, some people say.
So the interesting part is comparing these long-held ideas with what modern science can actually measure.
Okay, let's do that. What about the testosterone boost claim? That's a big one.
It is. And there are studies, so research has shown, yeah, a temporary bump in testosterone after about 7 days of abstinence.
A temporary bump. Okay.
And this is the key part, it seems to level off after that. It plateaus.
So it's not like it just keeps climbing and climbing indefinitely.
Doesn't seem like it, based on the current evidence. The idea of a massive, sustained increase might be an oversimplification of hormonal regulation.
Right. So that initial spike is there, but maybe not the whole story some proponents tell.
Seems that way.
What about the other stuff then? The, mental clarity, the energy boost, those feel more subjective.
They absolutely are. And that's where it gets tricky, separating, physiology from psychology.
Like the placebo effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Many people do report feeling sharper, more energetic. We shouldn't just dismiss that lived experience.
No, personal accounts matter.
But scientifically, it's really tough to isolate the direct biological cause from, well, belief, expectation.
Or maybe even lifestyle changes that go along with the practice. Like maybe they're also meditating or eating differently.
Precisely. It's all kind of mixed together. It's still very much debated.
It's wild to think this isn't some new fad, though. The history is pretty deep.
Oh, incredibly deep. You look at ancient Taoism, they talked about conserving Jing.
Green.
Yeah, like a vital life force in essence. And semen was considered a really key part of that.
Okay. And Tantra.
Similar ideas in some tantric paths.
Yeah.
Mindful control, even retention of sexual energy, seen as a route to spiritual development.
Wow. Even in the West.
You could argue even Stoicism, with its focus on self-control and managing one's energies, kind of touches on similar themes, maybe indirectly.
Huh. And then there are those stories about famous figures, right? Like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, the anecdotes about him abstaining before big fights, believing it conserved his power, his energy. Whether it's true or not, the story persists.
So this idea has really traveled through time and across cultures.
It really has.
And now, today, you go online and it's forums, social media, tons of personal stories.
Absolutely. People sharing detailed accounts of what they feel they gain from it.
Which must be compelling if you're looking into it. Creates a community feel.
It definitely does. But again, from that scientific viewpoint, we have to remember, these are individual experiences. anecdotes.
Right, not necessarily proof of a universal biological effect that we can, measure consistently in everyone.
Exactly. Need to keep that distinction in mind.
Okay, let's pivot slightly. What about the flip side? Not retention, but ejaculation itself. Any potential health links there?
Yes, actually. Some research has looked into prostate health.
Oh, yeah. What's the connection?
Well, there's some evidence, not totally definitive, but suggestive, that more frequent ejaculation might be linked to a lower risk of prostate cancer.
Really? How would that work?
The theory is maybe it helps flush out potentially harmful substances or buildups from the prostate ducts. Kind of like clearing the pipes, maybe.
Okay, that's definitely something significant to think about. A potential health benefit of not
That's
retaining.
part of the picture, yeah.
Now, earlier you mentioned mood precursors like serotonin and dopamine and semen. Does the act of ejaculating affect mood too?
It does, but through a different mechanism. Ejaculation typically triggers a release of oxytocin.
The love hormone.
That's the one. Or bonding hormone. It leads to feelings of pleasure, relaxation, connection.
So kind of the opposite effect of the sustained energy some people report from retention.
In a way, yeah. It highlights different potential outcomes. One is about release and connection, the other about conservation and maybe internal focus, different states.
Okay. What about some of the, let's say, more out there claims you sometimes hear, like semen being good for skin or hair because of the zinc and protein?
Yes. Those pop up now and then.
Is there anything to them?
Well, it's true. Semen contains zinc and protein, but the amounts are actually quite small.
Compared to what we need daily or what's in products?
Exactly. Compared to your dietary needs or the concentration in, say, a face cream or hair conditioner, it's very unlikely to have a significant topical effect.
So probably not a magic skin potion.
The scientific backing for those kinds of topical benefits is pretty much non-existent right now. Very limited.
It feels important to ground this a bit. Like, what would a doctor, say a urologist, tell someone about all this?
That's a great point. A urologist would likely stress sticking to the evidence-based stuff.
Like the prostate health connection.
Yeah, they might discuss the research on ejaculation frequency and potential prostate cancer risk reduction because there's actual data there, even if it needs more study.
But they'd be wary of the other claims.
Probably. They'd likely caution against putting too much stock in anecdotal reports about massive energy boosts or, spiritual awakenings via retention, simply because the solid medical evidence isn't there. Their focus is physiology and proven clinical outcomes.
Okay. Which leads us to maybe the most abstract part of this, the whole mental and energetic connection some people feel.
Right. For many practitioners, it definitely seems to go beyond just biology.
How so?
It's this idea that managing or conserving your sexual energy, which includes semen for men, relates to discipline.
Discipline, focus?
Yeah, and the ability to redirect that powerful energy toward other things, other goals.
You hear that narrative a lot, don't you? Like artists or entrepreneurs.
For athletes, yeah. Anecdotes about people feeling that periods of abstinence boost their creativity, their drive, their performance.
Like trading one energy form for another, energetic alchemy almost.
It's a compelling idea that this fundamental biological drive could be consciously channeled.
Then you have things like the no-fat movement online.
Right. While often focused on quitting porn and masturbation, there's frequently a crossover into semen retention ideas.
And claims about big changes.
Yeah, claims about improved mental clarity, energy, confidence, potentially linked to changes in brain reward pathways from breaking addiction cycles, perhaps combined with the retention aspect for some.
And this isn't just a modern internet thing either, is it? The energy idea.
Not at all. Go back to those spiritual traditions we mentioned. Kundalini yoga, tantra.
They talk about sexual energy too.
Oh, centrally. Core concepts revolve around consciously working with, harnessing, sometimes transmuting sexual energy for spiritual growth, higher awareness.
So not just suppressing it, but actively using it internally.
Exactly. Directing this potent life force, as they often see it, towards different ends, enlightenment, creativity, whatever the goal might be. It's a very different frame from just biology.
So wrapping this deep dive up, it feels like, well, it's complicated.
Definitely complicated. The story of semen is clearly more intricate than just reproduction 101.
There seem to be these threads connecting it to well-being, both physical and mental, that are worth exploring.
For sure. Even if the science on many claims is still, catching up or hasn't found strong evidence yet.
So is semen a superfluid? The definitive answer seems to be maybe not in the way some people mean it.
Scientifically, yeah, superfluid is probably too strong a word based on current proof.
Yeah.
We know its components, we know their functions. But the more extraordinary claims about retention, they need more solid investigation.
It's one of those areas where science is still evolving.
And where personal experience, belief systems, cultural history, they all play a huge role in how people interpret it.
So the takeaway isn't necessarily do this or don't do that.
Probably not. It seems more about balance, self-awareness.
Knowing your own body, understanding the actual science we do have.
Right, and then making informed choices based on that, plus your own experience, whatever path you choose regarding ejaculation or retention.
Awareness seems key, whether it's this topic or anything health-related, really.
Absolutely. Just being mindful of your own body, your mind, the factors influencing them.
Yeah.
It's always valuable.
This has definitely given me a lot to think about. That interplay between biology, belief, experience, what's really going on there, it's something to keep mulling over, isn't it?